All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to C Star League here. Georgia Tech Gold taking on Université de Montreal. That was horrible. I keep trying to do this French accent. I really got to quit it because it's probably more offensive for me to be trying to do it and failing. Either way, we're going to be having this knife round here on Nuke. Always fun to see the season start on Nuke because it's one of those maps that I guarantee you teams don't put as much time into practicing. And CT side in this knife round could be really huge. Montreal going to take it, and Montreal probably the more favored side coming into this one. They were 5-1 last season, with Georgia Tech going 4-2. Georgia Tech's going to be one of those schools that might have a little bit more trouble in this division, as I mentioned earlier. Montreal, of course, not going to have the easiest time either, though, because they have to play North Texas and UBC, two very, very strong schools. So either way, I mean, winning this game for both of these teams is going to be really important because it's starting the spring half on the right foot, and as we're kind of trying to say here, things aren't going to get any easier for either of these schools after this. So this is where you got to kind of start showing up every single week. So it looks like University of Montreal is going to be using KD, Sage, Epsilon, HHQZ, and No, the three brothers plus Sage and KD. I'm just going to call them brothers until they tell me otherwise. And Georgia Tech Gold using Chris N, Lucasso, Danny Smog, and Bad Blood. Those last three, I've definitely seen a lot of them before. So looking for big things here, and we're going to go live with Montreal starting here on the CT side. Try to see what kind of setup they're going to run here. Popular thing that I've seen lately is the ramp push, and I mean, we've been doing it on my squad for a while, so I'm interested to see if Montreal is going to go that route. It's kind of one of those routes that you're going to go if you're trying to play a little bit disrespectful. Not necessarily disrespectful, but either way, we're going to see the terrorists jumping out onto top of Marshmallow. Flash is going to go in outside, and the CTs are going to go into a pretty standard default here. Oh, and Epsilon's going to find the first one, and a second onto Danny, and a cleanup here from Epsilon. 4 kills, followed by one from No. And Montreal's going to go out to a quick 1-0 lead. That was a solid hold outside there from No. And Epsilon hitting every shot that he needed to as he fell back into Mini. As a result, you're going to see 3 MP9s and Sage. Okay, see, now this... Okay, no, see, I was wondering if Sage was here. Now, Epsilon, this is a little weird. I'm wondering... He opts to go for an M4 without armor here, so... I don't know if he just didn't realize, and this is a misbuy, but this could get interesting. And KG's dropped his gun now. Trying to boost up there, so... The ramp push, a good read here, coming out from Montreal, and... Georgia Tech trying to find one. HHQZ is going to find triple and another. That's 4 here for him. Can he ace with 6 HP? Swings wide, but he will not be able to take out Danny as Danny recovers the second kill now. As the pair of Montreal players fall. Epsilon going to hit the flank, and the lack of armor not going to be a factor for him as he finds another kill here, leading the way early at 5-0 in the server. Montreal taking a commanding lead early on, but nothing to worry about too much for Georgia Tech. You know, very CT-sided map if there is ever one. Sakura, you're not a filthy manager, okay? You don't talk about yourself like that. You're one of my favorite people. Either way, Glocks across the board and a P250 and a smoke, so a miracle to get anything done here. Damage, or rather just maybe hopefully not going to give too much money to the other side. Funniest thing about one of these rounds, I've seen teams just run right into mollies because they didn't want to feed SMGs. And the spray down here from Epsilon, looking for more. Can he find any? No. And Bad Blood's not going to be able to find the vents. Lucasso left all alone now. 28 HP here. Epsilon going huge once again for his team. KD pushing lobby. Lucasso is so close. He's swinging around with his knife. He finds one with the knife in the smoke. That's Sage going down. But not before. He'll be shut down by Epsilon, who cleans up once more. A knife's going to be money in the bank there. He's going to be able to get some money off of that. And you see here now, Lucasso, after getting that knife, be able to drop an op now to Danny. A T-side op on Nuke. Not something too common. But something, nonetheless, that could work. Especially if they're going to take it outside. I'm interested to see where Sage is going to try to battle him from here. We have a little bit of a kitchen sink buy here coming out from Montreal. There's a couple players opt to stay on those SMGs. I do like the call to stay on the SMGs. Maybe not necessarily here as they leave KD all alone in ramp room with just a UMP, but a setup coming out from the T side here in lobby. Just trying to control things, not giving up anything for free. Flash outside, gonna try to see what's there. There will be two players outside, Sage being one of them. HHQZ takes down one. The flash and ramp's gonna leave KD completely blind up, but he's playing around in the smoke. They have no idea that he may be here, and he's gonna fly to the smoke, find 1 and 2. Cannot find the third. Bad Blood will stop the misstep from taking any more damage here as far as Georgia Tech goes. Solid play there from KD to get a lot done with very little. This man is a bargain hunter. Rocking some cash with that UMP and holding down ramp, potentially winning the round for his team, but not before Danny has anything to say about it with a nice wallbang onto Sage. Epsilon in the perfect crossfire position here with No on site, and Danny gonna walk away from door, trying to bait out anybody on the A site here. He's dangerously close to two of these players. I wonder if he realizes it. No, he will not realize it as Epsilon's going to take him down. Bad Blood's up in heaven now. He's going to be looking for Epsilon. He'll find No in sight, but Epsilon finds the trade. This man is on fire. Montreal going to escape a bit of a scary one late there. But Georgia Tech doing a good amount of damage. Epsilon here jumping out early to an 11-0 scoreline. Georgia Tech going to have to try to find a way to shut this man down. Money isn't looking too bad here as far as Georgia Tech gold goes. They're playing very conservatively with it. They're not putting more than they need to into these ecos, and I like that. You know, you don't see too many players forcing guns that aren't going to be necessary to the strategy, and they're really doing well to make sure that they have the utility necessary to win these T rounds. Of course, only having one gun round so far. Following this eco will be where they really need to make their stand before Montreal runs away with it. They're a scary squad, and they're a school that's going to be hard to beat. You see, they make moves like this. Sage with the flank. He's looking for more, and he'll find one. Looking for another, but Chris going to come around the corner as Bad Blood also found one in that hecticness. And Epsilon replies onto Smog as he tries to get out orange door. No. On top of hut. Bad Blood's made his way all the way into the B site here. There is no defending counter-terrorists to be seen, and they'll hear this at some point. I do like the call that they've made here on Montreal to play this in a retake scenario, and HHQC going to shoot his brother in the shoulder there. Bad Blood in a great spot. I wonder if he checks these vents. I wonder if he checks them. The bomb has been planted here, and Chris and Bad Blood are in good spots. No, wondering where they may be. They have an idea that he's in Toxic Room, and Blood going to come out and find one, but he's not going to be able to find another as Epsilon will remain perfect in this one. That should put him to about 13 kills. Yes, it will. And the defuse to boot. That's 5-0 for Montreal so far. A bit of an expected score, but again, nothing to worry about too much for Georgia Tech just yet. Let's see if Danny S is able to do anything here. I like the play out of Sage so far in this season. I mean, in the last half of the season, we did see him play once on Train on stream here, and it was just a spectacle of clinical hybrid opping performance from him. And you see it coming out early here. He's going to use the rifle, but Bad Blood finds the entry, taking things into his own hands. I like to see this as Danny was just holding outside, and now let's try to hold lobby for rotates, but terrorists are swarming towards the B site. Epsilon going to have a tall task here as the molly comes into the vent. Going to deny him any forward ground here into the site, and the bomb should be able to be safely planted by Georgia Tech. There's the plant. They have decent post-plant positions, all 5 alive, and wondering where the retaking counter-terrorists might be. They're covering each other's backs, but Nono's going to find one. They need to find another. Bad Blood finds one and 2. HHQZ goes down. Chris finds one as well. Now in a 3-on-1. Sage is going to have to perform a miracle. Chris is going to shut him down, and Georgia Tech is on the board a really solid B rush there. I mean, when I used to play soccer, my dad always used to tell me the saying, you know, when in doubt, kick it out. And in Counter-Strike, it's almost become when in doubt, hold W towards the B site. Either way, Georgia Tech finds a way to do it, and they shut down that single push there. I mean, it wasn't really holding W necessarily that was happening there, really. They kind of just identified that there was going to be a single player in a certain spot, and KD was that player. No now going to be the man without armor. I wonder if he realizes it. Maybe a second miss by coming out here early from Montreal, but the scoreline would not show this mistake. They have not been punished yet for it. No, now going to join Epsilon on top hut. Takes out 2, and No finds 1 and a second. HHQZ going to join in on the fun, and this is I don't know how to say their last name, but the brothers are going to team up here and take out the entire Georgia Tech offense, and that's actually a very significant round for them to win here because that will completely reset the bonus that Georgia had going. They will be able to buy into this one, but after, you know, winning 6 rounds in a row, at a certain point, the Terrorists are going to be able to buy every round, and after them winning one, just to lose so heavy-handedly like that is going to be devastating to their economy. KD going to sit on the FAMAS, and they're going to go with what works here. The Molly's going to come in, and he'll take out 1 as Chris gets caught a little bit overextended, falling into the B site. Communicating this to his teammates, they've taken their B positions. Danny may try to sell this as they wrap towards heaven. Bad Blood looking for one outside. Sage going to be unaware of his presence here, mistimes it. That'll even things out at a 3-on-4. A bit of a misstep here coming out from Sage. It's going to give Georgia Tech the room they need to potentially win this round. You see, Epsilon has been centered here towards the bottom site. And No is going to fall as Bad Blood's wrapped all the way around outside to Mini. That's a very uncommon move after finding that kill. And Smog going to find one into the control room there. That's Epsilon finally going down. If there's a round for Georgia Tech to get back into this, this is the round that they're going to be able to do it here, because this is going to be very dangerous on the flip side here for Montreal if they're not able to recover this 3-on-2 post plan. And HHQZ is going to take out Lucasso after he plants the bomb. Now in a 2-on-2, HHQZ knows where the bomb might be. They need to clear out these positions, but the double stack heaven, very intelligent here from Georgia Tech. Although Danny, you're gonna have second thoughts. A bit of an interesting decision. Is he gonna be able to take him out? He will take out HHQZ, and the second one through Paul. Very, very scary there that he's able to hit the shot between the pipes there. Those 2 silos in the middle of sight could potentially have blocked him, but not going to be the case here, as Georgia Tech Gold going to survive a scary one. Live to fight another day. Montreal going to force up on this, able to get 2 rifles and a Mag 7. Sage should be able to grab a rifle and join his team as well. He's going to go onto the AUG. Of course this man's going to go onto the AUG. Why not? Everybody on the team has got to use a different gun. New rule. HHQZ going to join up KD. A perfect bait there. That's exactly the call you like to see out of an IGL. HHQZ going to find another here. KD jumped up the ramp looking for something. He's going to be unable to find anything here. Now in a 4-on-3, Montreal has taken the initiative in this one. Oh, Smog waits for HHQZ, who maybe oversteps a little bit there towards ramp. Georgia Tech second guessing whether there may be another player stacked up there, and they're just going to orient themselves towards the A site in lobby, which may be the wrong call here. Epsilon in a really odd spot as Lucasso is going to take out 1. He's not going to be ready for the second player here. He's going to get caught with his pants down. No. Throws the molly. Here's the player stampeding out. It will take down Smog. Smart movement from this man. And Danny now going to make his way towards the lower site. Bombs been planted in B, and the 2 French players are going to make their way through the vents. Danny going to find one, sees the other, dropping down, looking for him, and he will find him. No, not able to find the kill. Danny clutches out once again for Georgia Tech Gold. This man now with 2 1vx situations in a row. Very, very scary round wins here coming out from Georgia Tech Gold. And what is worse is that this is devastating to their economy. You see they've won 2 rounds in a row here, and they're still going to have 2 players who force onto Galils. So not impossible for Montreal to do a ton of damage here, but Georgia Tech needs to win these rounds a little bit more convincingly. Flashed outer, and we see the close player going to go down here, that Sage. As I was kind of alluding to last round, Montreal's making the right kind of calls here, just unable to catch out the last few players. Is HHQZ going to find one? Going to look to grab this AK, and he'll be able to do so. Danny on that upper railing, though, smart to the task, and will take down the man with the rifle. Gasso's also made his way into the A site here. And Danny sprays into Hut. Will take down KD. 2 players are very low here, so these pistols could be devastating to those 2 players, and all of a sudden we got a 2-1-2 in our hands if this is how it unfolds. But to allude a little bit to the last round, I did like to see the call there out of Montreal where, you know, KD's been noticing that, okay, when in doubt, they're kind of pressuring me here at ramp. This is what they've kind of gone to. You see HHQZ, he's been playing in the A site normally and up in heaven, and that's kind of been where he started most rounds other than when he's come over to boost in the ramp room. And that round was a perfect call for the bait and switch. KD made his presence known, jumped down the ramp, and then allowed his teammate to jump out, HHQZ, who found 2 kills and ultimately almost the round win. But a few missteps later, and all of a sudden Georgia Tech Gold is going to be right back in this one. Now with Montreal only having a 2-round lead. Alrighty, now into another gun round. Finally seeing another full gun round here. I believe this is only the 3rd one that we've seen 11 rounds in. I mean, I guess that's kind of expected. Maybe I'm making more of that than it is actually a thing. And Danny, once again, going huge here, but that nade outer is going to allow Epsilon to get 1, 2, and 3. Can he find a 4th? Spraying on Danny with the USB. Yes, this man will find one more. Now with the Galil, looking to find the ace here. Chris on the outside will take him down. Now has a tall task and a 2v1 here against 2 very smart players. KD already on the flank, taking control of lobby. Chris may not expect this, making a little bit of noise outside, has recovered the bomb. Where's No-No? No-No is now inside on top of the hut. Chris making his way outside. This is a good call from him, whether he knows it or not. No-No's noise will definitely have been cued in there by Chris, who will look for the fight here. Spraying across, a nice headshot there from Chris, who evens things out now. 1v1. KD has the HP advantage, but Chris definitely has the advantage with the rifle here. KD now hiding around lockers, headed up towards heaven. Good read here from KD, who's going to check outside to make sure he's not being wrapped. Chris has nades to work with. Doesn't want to give away his position just yet, but the smoke should clue in to KD that he's going to try to plant inside of it. KD's actually made his way out of the smoke, I believe. Chris has no idea that he's right behind him. Yes, KD has flanked and taken the round for Montreal. Unfortunate situation for Georgia Tech once again there. Huge opening pick, but a couple players just not getting anything done on the map, leaving Chris in a tough spot. KD going to win the round for his team. Money is going to be very tight here for the French side. Notably, Epsilon here has now 19 frags. This man may be at 20 frags before we reach round 13, people. It's been a huge factor in the past for his team, so going huge here on Nuke, you kind of expected it. This is one of those maps that people play so little, especially in league play, that you kind of see individual efforts from players like Epsilon. Bad blood, not seeing anything here. He's made his way into vent, and he will find the headshot on an unsuspecting HHQZ. He's going to fall. Now Epsilon here on the stairs. Sage going to tag up Chris with the scout there. That's 2 players now with very low HP here. Georgia Tech Gold, they have the man advantage, but losing in the health department certainly early, and Bad Blood going to be a casualty as a result. 4-on-4 unfolding here in front of us here, round 12. Montreal against Georgia Tech, and Lucasso finding an entry under the A site. Going to be replied with Epsilon taking out the lurking Danny, and KD not going to know that Smog is watching the ladder. Very close there. Smog will find the spray on the moving player, and now Sage and Epsilon with a tough retake ahead of them, but 2 players are one shot potential here for Sage. We may as well have an AWP in this situation. For sight, Chris maybe going to walk into his crosshair, and yes, he will. That's one of the players with low HP going down early. Sage finally finishing the kill that he started earlier in the round. Epsilon tapping away, knows a player might be in the corner, and he will strafe and take him down. Player upper has peeked. Smog going to eat this grenade. Looking to take down Epsilon, and he'll do so. Sage right under him, and we'll take him down with a picked up AK. Looking for the bomb. He has tapped it. Does he have time? I believe he has this. Yes, he just barely gets it, I believe. And another close one here. I mean, the scoreline 8-4, what you'd expect on Nuke, but the storyline, I mean, many close rounds, many 1vx situations and retakes unfolding here, and economy suffering, but Epsilon thriving on the map. That's been the story so far for Montreal, as they have an 8-4 lead. Pistols, once again, from the Georgia Tech side. Not their first eco, and they're likely to head towards the ramp position again, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to meet up with KD, who may be solo this time around. He's spraying with the M4. He's not even going to be able to find one. Will he be able to escape these rushing pistol players? The retake attempt, not going to be possible, as they're going to try to hold the site right away here. Epsilon in the vent, as his brother, no, rather KD, is going to hide in the smoke. That's a smart play there from KD to just smoke that off and hide out on the outside of it. Chris is going to take down HHQZ, and that's going to be the only gun recovered thus far. No, flanking into the ramp. We'll find 1 and 2. Has the bomb now. Chris going to be left alone once again to try to clutch things out. Danny and Chris being left in these tough situations here against the French side. Epsilon going to deny Chris any more room to work with as he takes the round. AK recovered, and Montreal back in the driver's seat. Really good game unfolding here for us in front of us on Nuke. I mean, Nuke is one of those games, or one of those maps rather, that can have games that have really lopsided score lines. You know, it can really be hard for certain teams to play on this map if they're not used to it. And obviously these two sides have a lot of experience playing with one another, and their chemistry is showing through in a lot of rounds. I'd like to see a little bit more out of Georgia Tech. They're kind of having a bit of a lack of strategy issue here. I think they're just kind of trying to play off the picks that they find. Montreal are pretty aware of this, I think, and they're playing a very well countered defense to that. Bad Blood and Smog making their way towards KD on ramp once again. He's going to fall off of the position. He'll spray onto Bad Blood. He has the advantage in the position, but Bad Blood doing a ton of damage to him. They'll trade out damage, but no kills just yet. Danny once again outside. Sage is actually flanking right around the outside of him, and he may have no idea that this is happening. Very odd rounds that are unfolding here in front of us in this one, guys. KD in a spot that he's favored before. Sage and him going to team up for a couple of kills, and Smog going to finally reply here for Georgia Tech. Epsilon looks for the peak, and Chris going to be smart to it. Shuts him down right away. Dumbledore is going to be smoked off, even though there's a teammate holding that position. They're going to hold DEFCON here. So Toxic going to be hiding HHQZ. Is unable to find a kill. Chris N finds one as well for himself here. Now, No going to try to deny Georgia Tech a 5th round, but let's get a tall task. Not going to be met. As No goes down here, Georgia Tech gold looking very strong heading into this last one here. They've really messed up the money of Montreal, and you know, this hasn't really been a half where you see a lot of rounds traded necessarily. There was only a couple rounds that were back and forth in the middle of the half there, but as far as what they're doing to each other, there's only a few players surviving in each round, and I believe there's only been like 1 or 2 rounds in the game where there's been more than a few players surviving. So money going to be all over the place for the side of Montreal. 2 Deagles and Op and a couple of UMPs to work with. Sage on the glass cannon. An homage to the great Cody Dixon of the Guelph Griffins. Nono's actually taking control of lobby here, and the wall of smoke's outside, going to be a telling tale for Montreal. HHQZ doesn't seem to have detected them, but he will hear them stampeding around down the stairs, and KD going to eat an AK bullet for breakfast here. Epsilon replying in lobby, this man with the Deeg, and recover an AK, and this retake attempt may be possible. Sage hitting a nice shot onto Bad Blood there, post-plant. Now Danny, Lucas, and Smog going to try to recover a final round here in the last round of the half. Nade coming in, retake commencing. No, not going to be able to find one. Danny sprays 2 and 3 for the round. All 4 Montreal players going down in the retake attempt, and a 9-6 half unfolds. Really, really good half there out of both teams, I think. I mean, Montreal definitely played well enough that they could have had quite a few more rounds. Georgia Tech with a few missteps of their own, of course. But what do you expect on Nuke, of all maps, to be starting things off, I'd say the key to success here for the French side is to have a very explosive offense. I'll see myself out. It's because I just made a nuke pun. I know I had to explain it. I know that makes it worse. That's fine, guys. Either way, 4 players going to be readying up here as we take a quick break in this halftime. And I mean, a lot of these guys are maybe a little bit rusty coming back after a winter break. I know for a couple days there that I didn't play. And I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I live and breathe this game. I play it constantly. And even after, this is one of those games that I think that this is kind of what keeps a lot of people away from Counter-Strike sometimes, is that it's one of those games, it's not really like riding a bike necessarily. When you ride a bike, once you get the hang of it, you don't really forget how to do it. In Counter-Strike, it's a completely different story. If you don't play for a couple weeks, you're going to come back and you're going to aim like a potato. It's just unfortunately the way things go with this game. And I mean, that's also kind of what keeps people playing it. And I think that's kind of what's good about it, is that it's such a high-skill game that a lot of these guys are going to play over their winter break. And now something that I kind of wanted to talk about over the break is that if you guys are in the Discord, make sure you guys are in the Discord, by the way. I think Exclamation Discord in the chat will provide a link if I'm not mistaken. I think I've seen that before. And you guys can join the Discord. Now there's a new thing that some of the players have gone into, and even some of us casters, I know me and Mahone are actually both in it as well. And it's something kind of similar to what you guys see every night on those streams in Rank S. It's something that you guys can do to get involved and play with other collegiate players, in the off times when you're just trying to practice on your own. It can be a lot of fun. And if you guys are interested, definitely go check it out on Discord. You'll see the channel on the left side. We're just waiting for one more player here. Hope everybody here also had a good winter break. I know, even casting is kind of like that, actually, because I had when I was casting the All-Star game, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I kind of felt horrible. I felt like I wasn't doing so well. I hadn't casted in almost the whole month. It almost felt like I hadn't talked in a whole month, because, casting, you have to really get dynamic. It's not just like having an everyday conversation all the time. Either way, those All-Star games were very entertaining. If you guys haven't seen them yet, I recommend you go check them out on YouTube. The C Star League YouTube channel has all of the matches that have been streamed, loaded up, and ready to go for you in case you missed any of the action. And you don't like watching Twitch clips. But I believe demos are available on Twitch as well, if you really, really don't want to leave this website. I mean, why would you? It's Twitch. All right, finally, Bad Blood going to ready up here, and second half going to commence. This is really anybody's game. I mean, I do like when, halves are this close, because some people say that this pistol round is kind of less important, and in a lot of respects it is. It's less important for both teams because neither team is needing to absolutely win this in order to win the game. But because of that, I think it also makes it very important because this is going to give you that edge right away, especially if you're the T side. If you're Montreal here, getting that pistol is going to be really, really important to generate that economy right off the bat instead of what you saw last half there where Georgia Tech, unfortunately, had zero success on their pistol. They'll blow up the door with the nade. This is a popular strat, smoking off many, and Lucas going to find one as Sage. Go down early. The players have flooded into the A site. Smog going to find one as well. No finds one. Lucas finds one more. No as well. Finds a couple for himself. 3-on-2 now. The bomb's made its way into the A site, and the retake happening as the bomb's going to be planted. No, not going to be able to find any right away, and Bad Blood taps away. We'll find one. No, in a hopeless situation here, but he'll find one. Looking for a second. Lucas has to reload. Will he get this? No, he will not. No. Going huge so far. With only 6 HP, will he be able to do it? Danny going to be blinded up, but not going to fall to the Glocking no. Georgia Tech going to squeeze out one here on their CT side. So neither T side pistol will be successful, but Montreal going to be able to go for a quick buy, and taking down 4 players here is very important. As in this early game, buying Kevlar can be very, very important. So now you're going to see Montreal not really do much. I mean, they got a couple of P250s, courtesy of No, I believe here. He's going to drop a couple, and he's going to get a deagle to smoke for himself. They've got the smoke wall set up outside, I believe, is what they're going to go for. They got the 3 smokes. Very, very common strat you see, and I mean, especially see this one on gun round. This is a nice one from Epsilon there. That was a really easy lineup. I really like the way that one lands quickly, too. You see how quickly it's landed, so these players aren't going to have any trouble making their way down Squeaky here. Lucas spraying into the smoke, knowing that this is a possibility, and minimal damage here. I mean, this is great for Montreal so far. This is kind of what they wanted. Control of these lower halls. This is where those pistols can be effective, as Lucas is going to find out the hard way. Bad Blood going to find 2, though. Bail out his teammates so far, but Epsilon finding one with the P250. Smog and Chris also find a pair as well. They have control of the bomb. No, the pistol man from last round has a deagle and a smoke. Nono's made his way into sight. He's hiding behind the plant silo. I don't know why I'm blank. That has a call out, does it not? Can somebody post that in chat? That silo in the middle of B site has a call out. I'm certain of it. I don't remember it because I haven't played Nuke in months. I think the last time I played Nuke was when I casted it at the start of the last half of the season. I think that's the last time I saw Nuke. And if that says anything to Valve about professional teams' map pools, I mean, I don't know what does. Either way, we must respect the great Gaben's decisions, because I'm certain that everybody who yells at Gabe about Counter-Strike issues knows that they're yelling at the perfect person. That's the person who's in charge of it. 4 AKs and a Galil for the side of Montreal. I like this. They've gone for the early buy here, and you see how they will have an advantage over at least a couple of players on the side of Georgia Tech, but some have upgraded, and Bad Blood and Chris to make that evident early, as Danny now going to join them with a scout kill, and he'll find a headshot on Epsilon. This man is nuts with the scopes, as we've seen him get countless picks now in this one, and making that scout work early would be a big reason why his team's out 3-1 lead in this round. And we'll find information on to HHQZ, who knows that now that he's been spotted, he's got to move quickly. Flashing across. Danny in the perfect position, hiding behind this generator. We'll find one more, who is now going to fall in the 9-9 tie unfolding in front of us. This is not looking good for Montreal. I mean, obviously they haven't, that was their gun round chance, and Epsilon on a Tech 9, so things looking really not good for Montreal. Oh, thank you, Sakori. I do appreciate that. See, this is why you're my favorite person. Even if I can never understand what your anime names mean. I swear these days being in esports means you have to watch anime or you're like uncultured or something. You'll never get anybody's references. Either way, Bad Blood going to be met by a team of pistolers here, but he will take 2 before his rifle falls. And without armor, going to be a tough task here. Get much done. He's looking to take down one more. This rifle has made its way into the bottom site here, and he's looking to take out Lucas, who's going to be unsuspecting. Sage going to go huge here. And now a Tech 9 kill. Going to make me eat my words as Epsilon here. And the man advantage unfolding now for Montreal. They've really opened up this round, and Danny now going to have to retake the B site with that AWP. A difficult task to say the least. HHQZ in a perfect spot will get this rifle for free. And that should signal Smog to save if he knows what's good for him. But he has found one. He's already in the site. He's committed at this point. He's got the smoke to work with. Not going to test anybody yet, though. He's looking to smoke bomb, and he will do so. Gets in it, gets on it, and Sage going to shut him down. Montreal coming out huge here on nearly a full eco. They only had pistols. I don't believe any of them even had armor. And Georgia Tech with a huge misstep on that one. They were poised to take a couple more rounds in the least. And now going to be forced onto an eco potentially of their own. Four CZs, a couple sets of armor, and a P2000. Exactly what you'd expect out of an ecoing side. I'm surprised to see if they buy next round, but Sage gonna go down, and Bad Blood gonna take back his rifle that was once stolen from him last round. Without armor, though, again, you saw last round how maybe that might not matter so much on this map, but taking one-on-one gunfights when things get hectic, I mean, you practice with armor, so you can't really practice how aim punch is going to affect you. Bad Blood going to need to play an angle as such. KD and Nono making their way outside on the railing. They'll be able to join forces up in heaven there and may wreak havoc on the A site as a result. 4-on-4 here. Montreal being very careful. What I do really like here out of the French side is that they're giving a lot of respect to Georgia Tech here. I've seen them play in the manner that's a lot less of something that you'd be typical to see. They're used to running over teams. Went 5-1 last half of the season, and I'm pretty sure their round differential was one of the best in the league as a result of that record. And Georgia Tech definitely showing why this half of the season is very different than that half. KD gonna find a pair here now. Chris gonna find one, spraying with the CZ, gonna run out of ammo. Bad Blood now in a 1-on-3. No armor, no kit, and an M4. I don't think he's gonna go for this. I feel like he should not go for this. He's made his way towards the smoke outside. Oh, no, he's rather outside the door, rather. It didn't look like he was inside for a second, but already saving and a good call here coming out from Bad Blood here, as he'll be able to probably drop this rifle to somebody in the next round. Utility is going to make a huge difference on this map. Those mollies really deny any bit of fast play room for the attacking side even. You saw how successful Georgia Tech was taking the ramp room a couple of times. I mean, there was one round that was really good that I keep highlighting there where HHQZ did the bait and switch. But other than that, I mean, they had a lot of success, and a lot of their round wins were generated off of fast ramp control and making fast plays. Mollies really deny that room, especially on a map here where the setups are a lot less stable, especially on the CT side. I don't like using the word weeb. Not for any, I don't think it's any racist thing or anything like that. I don't think about it like that. I just don't like the way the word sounds. It's kind of like the word moist. You just don't say it. It's a bad word. Not like a bad word, like a swear word. It's just a bad word. Oh, now anime is going to take over the chat. Look what I did. Oh, HHQZ gonna leg up Chris as the corner of the wall. They're gonna save his life, but maybe only for a moment as these swarming players. No, gonna get caught looking the wrong way just for a second. Sage gonna finally find the trade here, and Smog finds one. Things falling apart here. Montreal getting kind of confused outside with their attack. They kind of seem to be hesitant there. Lucas making a position. So now we see 2 AKs and an op. Danny making the op work close range. I really like to see this, especially out of Danny. I feel like in this league, you know, we've seen very, very talented oppers, and the All-Star game was a very good highlight of that. We said there was like that game probably had like at least 2 oppers, maybe 3 on one of the teams and 2 on the other. So we saw some great shot there. Epsilon sneaking up on Lucas. Lucas not really realizing that was a possibility, and that is costly. As Epsilon going to open things up for his team here. 3K in the round for him. Another huge multi-frag round for this man. If Montreal is able to hold out in this one and take this W, he's going to be a big reason why. Smoke into the bomb site, and Danny likely going to save in this position, although anybody can do it on the Georgia Tech side. It might be him. HHQZ seems to have caught a glimpse of him there. Doesn't seem to think he's hopped through the hut. Epsilon may miss this timing too, but he hears him. Comes out, and it looks like Epsilon with the AK will shut down Danny, and the op now fallen for Georgia Tech, whose money, they're going to be down in the dumps on this one. I mean, they could just save one, go for a buy next round, but it'd be pretty weak. They won't be able to have the AWP, and utility's going to be far and few between across these players if they do decide to go for that play. Although that does seem to look like what they're going to do. I mean, they don't have a ton of rounds to work with here. We are in round 22 already. Without these rounds to work with, it'll be a difficult task for them to get back into this one as Epsilon finds 3 once again. Eco farming is this man as Smog going to be taking him down, but only a small consolation in this round as Montreal poised to take a 13-9 lead. And KD will shut down Lucas. Danny will be able to get the AWP, so obviously my math is really bad. I mean, it always has been. I never said I was a math major. This is why I took political science, people. Actually, it's probably a bad thing how bad at math I am in this game. Either way, no, gonna find the entry here on Lucas. That's a big kill here, actually. Georgia Tech that's kind of weird peak for him to take there. Really trying to take the initiative outside, but dangerous. Sage finds one more into the A site, and the A site's already fallen. Chris gonna find No on the outside, and Epsilon with a nice tap there into heaven. Danny and Chris holding down outside here, but if these 2 men don't already go for the save at this point, I mean, they're gonna have a difficult time even hanging onto these rifles. I think this is the call. I think they've made the call to save and just try to get out with what they have. Danny trying to hit the wall bang. Sage is going to hear them stampeding away. Is he going to catch one? No, just barely missing. The timing on that is going to be Sage, although Chris and Danny going to make their way into Terror's spawn and try to save these rifles. This is not looking good now for Georgia Tech. Montreal now jumping ahead to a 14-9 lead. Really set themselves up to take this one, and trying to bait out the shot's going to be Sage, who taps away but not going to find Danny. Will they peek him and oblige this man once more? They've smoked off the corner. This is actually not a good move, I don't think. I don't think Chris really realized what might happen here. Is Epsilon going to come stampeding around the outside? It will go down. They're trying to spray through the smoke to take him down as Chris finds 2. That could get really dangerous really quickly, but it did not. It did not. And that's okay. Once again, Georgia Tech here going to have enough money to get into this round and to go into it with something at least, but money and frags are flourishing for the French side, especially on Epsilon. This man nearly had a 40 bomb already. Somebody get me one of whatever this guy's on. Or just give me something. This guy had a muffin for breakfast, you can tell. Or a croissant, rather. Things have come to a standstill early in this round here. We see the default here coming out from the CT side. Playing it a little bit differently than the side of Georgia Tech. You see where Danny and Lucas are playing. They play it a little bit further back. They don't play anybody in the big garage there, which is kind of contrasted by the side of Montreal, who really took initiative outside to make sure that they were controlling Mini there and making sure that they were controlling the close area using an op setup in garage and having a really solid setup outside is important to deny the terrorists a lot of room here. Bad Blood in the first gunfight of the round will win it. Looking for a second. Sage going to find the trade, but low in HP he is going to be. As a result of that one, and now in a 4-on-4, Danny going to find one. He lets the first one go, but will hit the second shot. Now looking for one more is going to be HHQZ trying to find the head of Danny, and he will. Danny caught outside for just a second too long. Lucas and Sage, the two low HP men on each side, and still not a lot of time left, actually. I just looked at the clock. There's only 20 seconds left to work with, and Smog going to find one here. You got to realize that the bomb is making its way down to the B site, but HHQZ going to shut down Smog, who maybe they're going to head up the ramp now. The bomb going to go down, and Lucas finds the final kill here. Georgia Tech will live to see another day in this one. Looking for a rifle, and Lucas will find it. Huge round here out of Georgia Tech. A solid standing towards the end there, and I think the rule of thumb here for Montreal is that if Epsilon doesn't get a kill, you're not going to win the round. She did not get a kill there, and ultimately they did not win the round. Changing up the default a little bit here, going to be Georgia Tech. They have the setup to spread themselves a little bit wider, and you see the two outside. Now you see where Danny's actually positioned himself up top here on the railing. He will hit. No, fully flashed. A really nice timed shot from Danny here. Falls onto the generator. Hits another through smoke. Another one. Somebody called DJ Collin. This guy just hit another one. HHQZ going to deny Bad Blood any room to work with downstairs. Smog going to drop down the ramp, joined by Lucas. Bomb has been planted. HHQZ on a really late alert, trusting KD here to get the job done, but so far away. I wonder if they're going to realize where he is. He's got to hear him coming behind him. He has to hear him at this point. HHQZ will shut down Smog. He will try to take down the planner here, and spraying through the smoke. Oh, so low in HP. Spraying to try to take... He's not going to be able to do it. There's no way. Look at the nade. Does Danny even have time? He's not going to be able to do this. No, HHQZ goes huge for his team. With 6 HP, this man may have just sealed the deal for the Falcons. I'm just speechless after that. I can't believe HHQZ was able to clutch that out. The story so far has been Epsilon, but quietly behind him, HHQZ having a huge game, and that round showcasing exactly why. Clutching up a late round there, and a nearly impossible situation. At the start of that, I was kind of questioning the late lurk, but now it makes sense after winning that round in that manner. Epsilon finding Bad Blood here. The first step towards victory for the French side. We're only now 1 round away. Oh, and it looks like it may be greeted here out in ramp. Look where these players are in ramp. How is this possible that they haven't seen each other yet? Now Chris will finally take down Sage. Epsilon will shut him down. Danny now and Smog find themselves. Epsilon on the side here, and Danny's walked the spot before and not able to seal the deal. The Falcons of Montreal are going to be your winners today, people on Nuke, for the first match of the day here. What a great game from both sides there. Definitely good stuff from both sides in that one. So Montreal going to take the W in this one, but later tonight, people, 10 p.m. Well, I say 10 p.m. because it's 10 p.m. my time. At 7 p.m. Pacific, we're going to have another match here. Going to be VCU taking on UCLA. I'll be joined by Mahone at that time, so you guys won't have to just hear my voice over and over. You'll get some good insight from a very solid player as well. And I mean, ultimately, to talk about this game, there wasn't really like too much to talk about other than each team was kind of making these little mistakes mid-round, kind of very costly in the late game. And at the end of the day, Montreal was just able to close things out. You know, you saw how many rounds, fell to a 1vx situation or around it that somebody needed to clutch out. and Montreal was able to do it. So Georgia Tech, a solid showing to say the least, but this is exactly what we alluded to before the game. We wanted to talk a little bit about it because Georgia Tech is one of those teams that's kind of on the fringe. They're on the fence. They got to win games like this, and unfortunately, they're unable to live up to the tall task here of taking down Montreal, who's a very solid school last year, this year as well. So either way, we'll probably cut to some music for a little bit now. Chat amongst yourselves in the chat, and we'll see you guys in a couple of hours.